It's been a lot of shit popping. So the draft and how they ruined it.
Yeah.
The Sonya Deville shit. So Sonya Deville, like,
I'm looking. I literally just clicked off of that.
yeah. So there's the shit that happened on the bump, and then there's like a worked shoot on Naomi that she got.
I saw this shit on SmackDown when she drafted. She was like, Naomi.
Just like this, like people say the stupidest shit, and I'm like, look, Naomi's biggest flaw, I guess, is her inability to stay available because she's had different health concerns. She's foregone the option of getting pregnant, which is some shit that was on Total Divas, but she's just had different medical issues that have sat her down, plus creative not having anything for her. So nobody remembers the shit when she was in the clique with fucking Sasha Banks and was it Tamina?
Tamina, yep.
Yeah, Sasha and Tamina when they were doing BAD, or nobody remembers any of the Funkadactyl shit when she was literally eating shit for creative and liking it and just making chicken salad out of chicken shit. Then she finally found her character that most reflects her real life persona, because she was a fucking was an Orlando Magic dancer or a Laker girl or some shit like that.
Magic dancer, yep.
Yeah, she was a dancer for the Magic. So she finds out how to incorporate that in some shit that WWE co-signed on, and now that's the problem? Because she found a lane? And she can't even get on TV, and that's the most kid-friendly shit that's in the women's division.
Not a single lie told. I mean,
Not one. You can keep that for the fucking show. Just
like, no, God. Trust me, I marked it while you were talking. Here's the crazy shit. You got, like you said, the most kid-friendly shit on television, not on television. Shoes, marketable as fuck. Clothes, marketable as fuck, and colorful. A la the Usos when they were on Superstars. When Mick Foley was the GM, remember that? Mm-hmm. That whole era was nothing but kid shit. And she's literally the 2021 embodiment of the Usos in 2011 when Superstars was back. Are you fucking kidding me? And you can't do anything with her. Meanwhile, we got ponytails. Not to take anything away from Bianca Belair, but what can you do with a ponytail? You can't wear it out anywhere. It's barely merchandise.
Nah, that's some shit that they'll find a way to like glue a fucking ponytail to a headband and sell that shit to kids, and you'll have kids of all races with like a 3-foot fucking microwave ponytail
until somebody gets choked out at school for wearing it.
I mean, you run the risk with anything of motherfucker choking on it if you using it the wrong way.
No, not choking on it, being choked out by
choking on it or being choked by it. If you take a fucking t-shirt off your body and wrap it around somebody's throat, it's a fucking weapon. You could take one of John Cena's fucking armbands and try to cut off somebody's windpipe. Everything's a fucking weapon if you're resourceful enough. Man, you can't do that shit with me.
He got a skinny neck. Let's see if we can use that wristband as a choker.
You feel me? No, don't even do the wristband. Just get the armband because it's got more stretch to it. Like, come on, fam. Yo, you do like the fucking $1 Million Man and just stick $1 in someone's mouth. I'm blocking your airway. Anything's a weapon if you're resourceful enough. My phone would leave a nasty scar if I throw it hard enough.
I'm just glad the Good Father didn't have merchandise with Ivory when actually I'm glad they weren't even a faction when Nexus showed up and Daniel Bryan got fired for choking out Justin Roberts with the damn necktie, because then everybody would have been imitating that shit. I digress. Oh man.
Like, bro, y'all gotta be better about these motherfucking excuses y'all be throwing out. Like, I actually think since the time Naomi's been signed to WWE, she has more collective days off camera than she does on.
That might be a fact, and if that's the case, that's trivia for her. How long her contract is? I can't think of a better way to start the damn show than that. So with that said, where are we at here? Welcome to the Broken Pencil Booking Company Pro Wrestling Podcast and Radio Show infused with hip hop. I am Wood.
Made daily with organic, farm to table, localized, neuralized, sterilized, Scotch guarded for 2020 repellent, Available online, shipped via Amazon, not available on Sundays, but now available on thebeastradio.com. Broken Pencil Logic. You stay classy, internet. I'm Suave Burgundy.
Another day, another 75 cents in the pocket. Today is Thursday, October the 7th. Yeah, my lord.
Yeah, my lord.
I said yeah, my lord.
Yeah, my lord.
20 and 21.
Hey, man.
Suave Burgundy. Wood.
Yeah.
What it do?
Straight like that.
We bike.
It's the season that keeps on giving. It's Suavetoberfest.
Happy Suavetoberfest, my kind sir. That's what I was waiting on right there. Circle gets the square. Johnny, tell him what he's won.
You have won an all-expense paid trip to some jams, ho.
Hey,
to these bars.
Yesterday's price is not today's
It's not
price.
today's price. None whatsoever. You're going to have to pay, and hopefully it won't be through the nose. But, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
If you didn't know,
now you know.
Price just went up.
on your whole ass. Yo.
Yeah.
We've never, ever started the show the way we just started this shit off. And it was just fitting that we catch all the vitriol and piss and vinegar on the microphone just to kick off some shit where, honestly, this is a down week and it's season premiere week.
I mean, this shit going on is just you got to dig and you got to be a little bit more.
I mean, but that's the thing. If you really got to dig, is there really shit going on?
Yeah, because some of this stuff is not with the normal things we deal with. You know, we deal with a lot of mainstream and things that are like right out in front. But like MLW got a special premiering on Vice. Bobby Fish is all elite.
Shouts out to Andreas Hill. Shouts out to Emilio Sparks. Shouts out to Bobby Fish becoming all elite.
Half of the Undisputed Era is in AEW. It's a lot of Easter eggs. if you've been watching Rose to the Top, which is incredibly funny, you kind of know now why Cody is in such almost frantic mad dash to retire. He's got 4 herniated discs in his back.
I saw that. Man.
I wouldn't want to wrestle either. So it makes more sense why he's chasing the carrot everywhere else. But yeah. I don't know how many AEW's core audience members are going to watch Rose to the Top and able to see that and have a different perspective on what he's doing.
Which is crazy, like, because I was damn near poo-pooing the show before I even saw it. You challenged me to watch it, and I actually watched it. I had no reaction because I was genuinely interested by the end of the show. There was a show that used to be on True TV where it combined 2 or 3, maybe 4 couples, and one of those couples was Cody and Brandy. And the Rose to the Top is a continuation of whatever that show was, naturally because of how Google works and SEO, search engine optimization, and all that other shit. The internet's been scrubbed of anything prior to this incarnation of True TV, including things like South Beach Toe. You know what I'm saying? Like all that old shit is and Lizard Lick, all that stuff is gone off of the internet, except for like on Wikipedia. So I can't even find that old show as a reference point. I remember that show though, with them being on it and seeing, and this is when they were in WWE. And so, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, just hit the bell for yourself one time for defining for the people SEO. everybody don't know that. Everybody don't deal with marketing every day. So I was like, okay, yeah, and no stutters. Yeah. Search engine optimization.
That's what it is.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry. That'll get you to the dollars.
you better ask somebody.
Say, if you got that on your resume with a half decent marketing background, somebody gonna pay you
quickly. I'm
living proof.
Oh, well, look at that. Look at God.
Look at the Lord work.
Let's see what else we got. The draft.
No! Don't even jump into that because I feel like
I'm not going deep. I'm not going deep. I'm just saying.
No, not even that.
Wow.
I feel like being benevolent today. I feel like we started with representing for the ladies, and I feel like we should continue with stories involving the ladies.
Okay, so are we talking about Mrs. Mendez Punk?
You know what? That's a good starting point. Go ahead, jump that off.
All right, so Dr. Jenny Buss owned women of wrestling, WOW, if you will, is rebooting.
Who is Dr. Jenny Buss?
She is the owner and president of the Los Angeles Lakers.
True. Daughter of the previous owner,
Dr. Jerry Buss. And if we must know, yeah.
price just went up. Also, I don't know if they're still dating, but significant other of Phil Jackson.
That's right. Wow.
Zen Man, aka leader of the most famous iteration of the Chicago Bulls that there will ever be.
Ever.
Focal point of The Last Dance. He's the second most important person in that documentary, other than Michael Jordan.
Arguably the best coach in NBA history. There's an argument for a top 5, and he's definitely in it.
He's definitely in the top 5. Now Pop, I tend to ride with Pop from this generation, but
Pop,
yeah,
Auerbach, Pat Riley.
Yep.
You can't go wrong with Chuck Daly, because he reinvented how basketball is played for.
shout out to Tex Schramm, if you guys are up on that.
Man, you know what I'm saying? John Wooden, if you want to go that far.
Oh,
Coach K,
John Thompson,
Roy Williams, the late John Thompson. It goes on, man. I mean, you can argue with your mama, but yeah.
Shout out to Dr. James Naismith, for whom without we wouldn't have that conversation.
Damn Canadian. It's not a real country anyway. But look,
not your buddy, pal.
Not your pal, friend.
Not your friend, guy.
Not your guy. Damn, I ran out. But anyway,
hit the buzzer. Hit the buzzer. I win.
All right. So, AJ Lee.
Formerly AJ Lee.
April Mendez. AJ Mendez.
Brooks.
AJ Brooks, if you will.
Mendez Brooks.
April AJ Mendez Punk Brooks.
Damn. That's a lot. That's a whole lot of hyphenating. Bow. Whole lot of hyphens on your ass.
Oh my God. Why is my lawn man getting getting it on in the street?
Wait a minute, fancy. You got a lawn man? Wait, when you say getting it on, you mean like lewd behavior or about the box?
Like about the screw.
Wait a minute, that's public indecency. Why don't you knock on the window and tell them to move on down?
They park across the street, so I can't do it. I'm happening to look at them, but
move to the side.
This man hops on a lawn tractor, and as he's getting up on the trailer to come down to cut my grass, his old lady hops in the trailer and decides to tongue kiss him down as if she's about to hop on the tractor with him.
Oh, well, dinner and a movie.
Mama said it bees like that sometimes.
Hey, if your old lady gonna ride shotgun to work with you, you gotta expect things like this to potentially happen.
I mean, nothing like riding shotgun while you riding shotgun. So, at any rate,
and I'm just gonna let that one pass.
while he's on the lawn tractor, she's on the push. She's on the push pull.
Ooh, gearshift.com.
You did. All right, anyway, back on task. So
back on task. AJ getting down with the wow.
She getting down with the wow, with the bang boom pow, if you will, as the executive producer. So she's not returning to professional wrestling as a on-air talent. Well, not as an in-ring talent, but she's the executive producer. Great pick by Dr. Buss.
Right there.
Great pick by Dr. Buss. Not to be outdone, we finally have a landing spot for the most volatile woman on any professional wrestling radar to not be signed by a major because of how volatile she is. And they doubled down on this.
Is the word volatile the right word to describe her situation, or is it more like?
You're right. That's pretty intense of a word. Let's go with the word they described her as, or that they're marketing her as. Nuclear. Tessa Blanchard has signed with wow.
Yep.
Just when I thought that was a bad move, they go to Instagram and sell a t-shirt that says nuclear.
I mean, so this started
Genius.
because there was a news story that kind of broke with some rumors saying that AEW as well as WWE were shying away from signing Tessa Blanchard because they felt like she was nuclear. Now, for those of you who are not up on her past, during her time in Impact, she was a champion and ended up actually being the world champion of the company.
Indeed.
Beating men. She beat Brian Cage to become Impact World Champion.
Indeed, she did.
And then 2020 happened. And, for her own safety, as well as, the sake of her leisure, she left the country because her husband, who was also
at the time fiance, shouts out to Daga.
Right. She left the country to be with him during this time where, everything was getting shut down. You couldn't cross the border. So it's like, am I going to stay here and risk it all and be alone, or am I going to be with my loved ones? She chose her loved ones. But in choosing her loved ones, she cut herself off from being able to defend or appear on Impact Television as champion. So essentially, she took the belt hostage.
And in turn, she was stripped of said belt after saying she was going to return.
In which it turned into a big, ugly situation, and Impact cut her loose.
Man, oh boy.
Doesn't seem like she's really been hurting too much money-wise since then, because it hasn't come up. But
I mean, she comes from a pedigree of stock. I mean, let's face it. Her father is
Tully Blanchard,
Hall of Famer Tully Blanchard. Her stepfather,
the manager slash mouthpiece of the Pinnacle in AEW. So.
Her stepfather is Tully Blanchard's arch nemesis from the '80s, Magnum TA, aka Terry Allen. I mean,
yeah. That's what makes it kind of hard for me to think that people in AEW would openly say she's nuclear, because like her father's there, fam,
and her other father, like both
her fathers were within close reach, and I'm pretty sure like Arn's an uncle. Uncle Armed Anderson. Bitch.
Speaking of Armed Anderson, was it the video game clips coming out from, what was the game, Suave? The video game?
Rev Pro,
man.
So for those of you, that video game released, I want to say the last iteration was 20. It may have been as recent as 18, if I got to do my Googles on that. But it was available last for PlayStation 4 exclusively.
And you can find it usually places like you'll be lucky to find a GameStop. But like if you find like any used video game centers, you can usually find it in there for a reasonable price. Anywhere $40-50 will be considered reasonable.
You going to hit Amazon or like a movie trading company or somewhere like that. It's one of those
game exchange. It is it's a cult classic where people will play it, get rid of it, and then it just recirculates. And
then in this new age where all wrestling video games were completely dominated by WWE as far as console play, it had a really there's a cult following about it, basically.
While you're typing that, either way, Armed Anderson has become the thing. Like, I was thinking Arms Anderson because I always call him Arm Anderson as being part of the Minnesota Wrecking Crew and using the arm for a submission with Oli. But after this lump of coal that we handed out last week, man, Armed Anderson has taken on a whole new identity. I think is it FPWW Pro?
Nah.
Let me double check. Whoa. It is. That's
it?
Yep. It's FPWW Pro. Fire Pro. That's what it's. Fire Pro Wrestling World.
That's what it is. I'm thinking about fucking World Class Rev. We'll be there soon.
Yeah, Fire Pro Wrestling World is what it is.
Check your phone. Bostic might have sent you something, since I'm thinking about World Class Rev Pro. Like, yeah, we may have like some pressing business in the inbox.
Coming soon, though. Coming soon. He hasn't responded yet, and actually he was under the weather, and I wish him a speedy recovery if he hasn't fully recovered. Also, know he was in the ring this past weekend too in Wichita.
Aha.
Yeah. So he's back making his rounds on the.
You see, they announced a You see, they announced a new permanent home
For Rev Pro? Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The was it the North? Was it it's the tech? What's that called? What's the complex called?
Nilatex or some shit.
Nitex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the same place we saw MLW a few years ago, and that place, when it's hot, it's steamy. I'm sure it gets cold in the wintertime, but man, it's a sauna in the summer.
Man,
Hot box. It's the new 2021 Sportatorium.
Now, mind you, this is 100% a new state of the art sports complex. There's a hockey rink in it. There's a couple of turf fields for grass and it can be used for flag football.
Volleyball training facility.
Yeah, it is new. Don't think it's the Sportatorium, but where we saw MLW, pre-pandemic, we were in a building, in a structure that was like literally like a recreation of the Sportatorium. Mm-hmm. Risers on one side, nothing but regular chairs on the other side, and the heat in there feels like you're in a tin building.
We took
like you're in a barn.
We took towels and they were saturated within the first 30 minutes from just perspiration. So
But I've never been so close to heat exhaustion in my life.
But I look forward to the next event there. That's for sure.
I played football in Texas.
Also a fact. Man, so we all this started with the whole AJ Mendez AJ April Punk Mendez Punk Brooks.
You're going to shorten that to an acronym. You're going to cut that down.
AJPMB. AJPMB. That's a rapper name. AJPMB.
You see what I'm saying? This marketing shit happens without even trying.
It's organic. Farm to table.
I'm just saying, we skipping the processing part. We going farm straight to the table.
Yes, sir. So back on Tessa though, like, is this going to be like? First of all, well, I didn't back on Tessa, but how about World of Wrestling or Women of Wrestling? How do we feel about its reemergence? Like, are they going to be a player?
We're fully in support until we're not in support. You see how you take that stance? We're fully in support until we're not in support.
Their women are known as superheroes. And so far, we have the Beast as their champion, the Lioness, Tessa Blanchard, Razor, Steffi Slays, the Dagger, Jessie Jones, Lana Starr, Amber O'Neal, Jungle Girl, Temptress, Holly Dead, which looks like someone she could be like a Kiss demoness, if you will. Sophia Lopez, Chantilly Chella, Samantha Smart, Santana Garrett. There's a name I'm familiar with. Princess Aussie, Fury, Hazard, Jessica Havoc, another name I'm familiar with. Reina Reyes, Keita Rush, Eye Candy, Nikki Krampus, Serpentine, Siren, Fire, who's one of the tag champions, Mesmeriah, Disciplinarian, the other tag champion, Adrenaline, Teal Piper. Hey, Teal Piper, daughter of the late Hot Rod Roddy Piper, WWE Hall of Famer, Dixie Darlings, Sassy Massey, Cowgirl Casey Dakota, Angelica Dante, Chainsaw, Callie Ray, Adriana Gambino, Spike, and Exile, a faction.
Well, their roster is already deeper than AEW's women's division.
Not a lie told.
So, the
website looks decent. WOWE is their website if you want to go check it out. The superheroes of WoW.
So, with me saying that, I'm immediately thinking that Tony Khan should reach out to Jeannie Buss and try to open the forbidden door because you need more women. And
they're apparently in season 4 right now. And you can actually watch their episodes live on their web, or not live, but on their website, WOWE.com. So there.
What is this new shit about, like, naming seasons of a live sports presentation?
It's a TV thing. It has nothing to do with.
Who told these motherfuckers to start borrowing shit from real world TV?
Because
the whole point is to pass this off as though it is a legitimate sporting event.
If you're on commercial television, you have to sell based off of things that are more tangible for the buyer, i.e.
suck me sideways. You don't have to call this a season and episodes. Like, what in the entire fuck?
As far as I'm concerned, for like a live sporting event, the season starts January the 1st, and if you have 52 weeks or 52 episodes, then that's what you have.
That's what I would say. Like, okay, if WWE was doing air quote seasons, which they are on the cock, pause,
and on SmackDown,
New Year's Day for WWE is New Year's Eve is WrestleMania, New Year's Day is the Raw after.
This is no lies told. Fact.
So that would be their season. Then there's AEW, which I guess you would go from Revolution to Revolution, or you want to go all out to all out.
I would probably go Double or Nothing, because that was their first pay-per-view. Now
these are truths.
Yeah, so it would be basically Memorial Day to Memorial Day.
all in's just a mixtape before the album.
You feel me?
Damn it, bro. Yes, all out was the mixtape before the album, and then Double or Nothing. Okay, I like that. Hit the bell for yourself. I mean, like what you've done.
And I probably contradicted myself because we had this argument a few episodes back. So probably around Double or Nothing.
I mean, life is for learning, bro. You can change your position. I respect your right to choose.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate my being a free-willed individual in this world today.
Absolutely. And speaking of free-willed individuals, on AEW Dynamite this week, Tony Schiavone did an in-ring segment where they announced the coming and pending move of Dynamite to TBS, which we've all heard about. Now they're really starting to push it forward because it's imminent. Mm-hmm. And they have debuted a new championship.
Mm-hmm. We talked about it before, and we actually saw the belt. Yep.
The TBS Championship, which is a woman's title. This is basically the matching set for the TNT title, which is the men's title, which I would assume at this point the TNT champion is going to just be the face of Rampage.
That's pretty much all you're going to have at this point. But I mean, you still have to consider that Rampage may be moving to TBS as well. They're going to call it, even though you're going to see that the TNT champion on Dynamite, they've been devout in saying that the TNT championship will still be named that even after the move, because we're only 2 months away from the move to TBS.
Oh my god, it's the stupidest shit ever.
Especially considering you have the TBS championship. Like I understand you not wanting to rename it the television title, but let's keep it a buck. That's exactly what the fuck it is.
You should get snarky and call it the champion of TV. If I was ever TV champion, that's what I say in every promo.
Wait, fall back for a second, because last week Impact debuted the Internet Media Championship. Shouts out to Matt Cardona,
the social media heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, they took that straight out of Cardona's playbook.
And that belt that belt looks better than championship that Christian Cage holds.
Hey, look. I need everybody to start evaluating your title belts and figuring out. Look, your World Heavyweight Championship should be the best looking belt on your brand at all times. AEW seems to have gotten that right.
Yeah, the big platinum, as it's been called. The only issue I would have with Big Platinum is that the plate in the center is not wide enough. Other than that, I have no complaints with Big Platinum. It looks like a champion's belt. It reminds me of the old IBF belt from the 80s. The IBF
tag team belts look nice. In WWE, it's kind of weird because it's more about logo and branding, so the belt hasn't been...
Yeah, we still have the dimes and the pennies for the tag team belts, which I'm over that.
I want those fucking gone. I'm not going to hold out hope that you're going to do, the retro vibe and go with the Demolition tag team titles, but just do something with this. Like, but this is indicative of a company who doesn't really care about tag team wrestling and has been very vocal about that. However, I'm gonna pause there for station identification because we're still talking about the ladies.
That's another conversation. We'll go ahead.
Whole nother conversation. We back on these ladies because the ladies need some shine. But with the TBS Championship, there's been a tournament announced to crown the first TBS champion. Now, us who, we watch all this stuff on a regular basis, not only for our enjoyment, but for your enjoyment as we, give you what you need. And for a nominal fee, soon to be a phenomenal fee, I will slice off some of this broken pencil knowledge and put it on your plate. But this tournament is going to crown the TBS champion. We who watch this product were hoping this was going to be a trios title.
And it's not to say we still can't get it, but yeah, absolutely. We still can get it. I just feel like I like the way that belt looks. And then the TBS Trios Champions, that seems like some good branding. It rolls off pretty easy. You have 22 male factions, and every faction has 6 members. I almost want to count it, but no, I'm not going to go that far. But yeah, and sharpshoot. But
what? It's 10 people in the Dark Order.
By definition.
The Super Click is 4. That's 6.
6.
Oh,
wait, no, 8.
7, 8, 9 if you count Callus.
Wait, did you count the Good Brothers too?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So both Good Brothers, the Block Control Express, Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, and Don Phallus Callis.
And not to mention Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa.
Yeah, so that's 9. So the Super Click is 9.
Amazing.
Then Death Triangle.
Death Triangle.
By definition, they're a part of it. Best Friends. So that's Cassidy and Trent Trent. I started calling Trent Beretta. And Chuck Taylor.
We've got them, the Inner Circle and Pinnacle. That's 10 there between the both of them.
Yeah, Good Brothers, Warlow, Spears, MJF. That's 5 there. Jericho, Hager, Sammy, Proud and Powerful. That's 5 there. What's another one of them factions?
2.0.
That's 3. That's the trio. That's the trio gang right there.
The Nightmare Family.
I don't know how many members are the Nightmare Family.
The Factory.
Yeah, that's another 5 because there's Camarado, there's QT Marshall, there's Go-Go, there's who else? I'm missing one or 2 or 3, but there's a trios gang in there too.
Team
Gun Club,
Team Taz.
Yes, Team Taz. That's a trios club, but Hook's never been in the ring. We got to get Hook in the ring first.
Men of the Years, I think that's going to morph into a faction because you might as well say America's Top Team.
Facts, because they, Dan Lambert's talking about Jose Masvidal like he's really gonna wrestle and like become a full timer.
He keeps talking Masvidal.
Heavy.
The Matt Hardy office, the Hardy family office.
Jesus, can we? Men of the Year probably should be able to find a third. They take Masvidal, and then it's Paige, Scorpio, and Masvidal. They're a trio.
And then you have the faction that never has a name, which is Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Marco Stunt, and Christian Cage, because they're a faction for sure. You might as well add Bryan Danielson to that too now.
Fossil Gang.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm available via Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, PayPal, Apple Cash. All major forms of payment are accepted over here.
And the crazy thing is, with the exception of Malachi Black and anybody else that's not in a faction, or sorry, that's not in a named faction, is in a tag team.
Kingston and Moxley always hang out with Darby, so that's his third.
And then we got to add Sting.
Or hell, you can have because Homicide was on 2 episodes ago. You can bring him in as the third, or Nick Gage. Like that's your crew of misfits. Misfit Mountain, that's what you call it. Yeah,
this boy
Misfit Mountain.
Suave in his bag today.
I'm just saying, pow, whole lot of choppers on your ass.
Now, if we look at the let's look at the women's roster here.
Thin mints.
Thin Balor.
Yes.
We've got Abaddon, Bunny, Anna Jay, Big Swole, Brandy Rhodes, who is still convalescing postpartum.
Congratulations.
Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Dr. Britt Baker won't be anywhere near this title, and she's already said as much.
Emi Sakura, Hikaru Shida, Jade Cargill, who this title is built for. That bitch is shit.
She already renamed it. She's like, I'm going to win the tournament and turn the title into That Bitch Show.
Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, Leva Bates, a.k.a. Blue Pants from back in the day. The librarian, Leva Bates. Layla Hirsch, Nyla Rose, Penelope Ford, Rebel, Ruby Soho, Red Velvet, Rio, Serena Deeb, Ty Conti, Thunder Rosa, and Yuka Sakazaki. Now, that said, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God. 23. I've just counted. 23, and one of them is Brandy.
And Brandy, if you're watching Rose to the Top, is hell bent on wrestling again. It's the backdrop to the first 4 episodes. Is how she is foot planted in the motherfucking quicksand about wrestling after this child is born, and everybody around her is kind of trying to not force, but just suggest or inform that after the child comes, you're gonna feel differently about life. So don't necessarily get so wrapped up in trying to get back to work, because life is gonna change. Had someone told me that before my daughter was born, I'd have thought they were full of shit. And then I would have had to call the day after she was born and be like, you know what, you were right.
Oh man.
it hits different.
That it definitely does.
But her seeming her defiance when it comes to, you know, basically taking time to get adjusted to motherhood before thinking about coming back to wrestling. That defiance to that, you know, ever looming truth makes her come off a little unlikable. And I'm certain that's not the intention, but there's almost like this iron-fisted nature to the conversation when anyone suggests that maybe take it slow on coming back, or just think about it, or wait till after the child's born. And it's just like, she killed ants with a sledgehammer about that. Anytime it's even asked, like LaGreca's on episode 4 interviewing for Busted Open, and asked kind of the question, and it was like, I think he suggested that life would be so much better after the child's born, which is true. And she took it like, what are you saying? My life's not great now?
Easy.
Like, no one's trying to bury your accomplishments or saying you can't. They're just saying, enjoy the blessing.
They take it in.
Take it in. Enjoy this part of life.
Drink it in, man.
But yeah, like that's one of the sticking points that, after speaking to a few people who are more qualified to speak on that than me, were like, yeah, that's just, you know, that kind of makes her unlikable. She has a certain type of approach to it. I won't even attach that word to it.
Whatever the opposite of je ne sais quoi is that.
Mm-hmm.
So, what outside of Women of Wrestling, what can AEW do to infuse a shot of adrenaline into the women's division?
Open the forbidden door and keep opening the forbidden door.
What, to whom?
Everybody.
Okay.
New Japan. Anybody that'll answer the phone, have this conversation. So
I would love to see like some Forbidden Door mergers happen. Like I would love to see like MLW's women division merge with AEW. New Japan is imminent as is, just because of the bridge they have with Hikaru Shida, Sakazaki, and Rio. You know,
all of the above. If you can get you just mirror what you're doing with the men's division. You get one-offs and air quotes dream matches, or just really, if you were fantasy booking matches that you would get that way. So having Kairi Sane do a one-off is not a bad thing if she's not under contract anymore.
Or even have her do like a 3-month program, like we were saying like a couple of weeks ago. Go back to territory style booking on some of these angles. Like the whole Nick Gage thing, that should have been a 3-month angle of some sort that would have like started with Moxley and ended with Moxley, whether it be on the same side of the ring or the opposite side of the ring.
Oh no, we pretty much told y'all how to do this even before Nick Gage got there. Now that he's been there, it's like, I don't know how, with as much blood and guts as you've been able to put on pay-per-view in the life of this company, I don't necessarily know why you didn't pull the trigger on Gage versus Moxley in like some infinite level death match.
I mean, we saw more blood and guts from Britt Baker than we did with Kenny Moxley versus Kenny Omega, John Moxley versus Kenny Omega.
Oh my God, they killed Kenny.
You bastards.
But I'm just saying, like, GCW's doing it in a hotel ballroom. Like, what the fuck? Come on, Kanos.
Now you want to talk about?
Don't go to sleep at. Hey, you're gaining a lot lot. Don't go to sleep at the wheel right now.
You want to talk about a forbidden door being open? That's GCW. Like, they actually have a chance. they keep doing that kind of shit. They'll have a chance,
bruh. Like I've heard more about GCW in the last
6 months.
6 months than
the last 6 years.
You feel me? You got Cardona going through there, just massacring his body just for shits and giggles at this point. You had Moxley come through there.
You had a Nick Gage sighting on Dark Side, and then that's when you really saw it take off with people barging through and then leaving for a hot cup of coffee.
Boy, after all this TV time, Gage ought to have some real nice smoke to smoke.
Straight up, all this free travel and publicity he getting.
Sam, do you know, like, okay, that's the working definition of yesterday's price is not today's price. He is the poster child for yesterday's price is not today's price. Because before Dark Side, I'm pretty sure you could have got him for a handful of beans.
With a couple of sandwiches in a box of Newports. But today,
price just went up.
Ho.
Man, he outside.
All the way.
You gonna have to come off some bands now.
Can we finally, and I'm not even trying to like pop shade or anything, but can we finally, can we finally get into this garbage draft?
Have we shown the ladies enough love? Oh, Dutch Mantel said, I didn't want to end with this, but Dutch Mantel says the most. He has some critiques of one Charlotte Flair.
Oh, please. Oh, there's Ladies Love, but hey, I mean, Ladies Loathe is just as good as Ladies Love, and we're talking about them still. What did old Dirty Dutch have to say?
So apparently, from Sportskeeda,
Zeb Culture for you, Zeb Culture for you casual fans.
That keep put a pin in that Zeb Culture. Ha! Yeah, as a mixtape rapper.
Hey, that could be my name on here, Wood, aka Zeb Culture.
I like it. I like it. Yeah,
new shit.
Yeah, we the people. You bastards. Look, I was finna say we need to call Ricky and get a record. Get a record together for Armed Anderson.
Armed Anderson.
Zeb Culture.
Can we get Petty Messiah to drop a 16 or even talk shit on the chorus for it? Like, we gotta get something. We gotta get the whole gang together for that one. Armed Anderson.
Look, yo. I have to hurry up and put it in a song because you know West Side Gun is already in the studio.
Hey, yo.
Look, Gun and Conway, they already working on the shit. Benny is sitting there writing his verse.
Yeah. Yo,
gotta hurry.
But so Dutch Mantel.
Dutch Mantel is quoted as saying, I kinda hate her promos. I think she depends too much on the carryover from Rick. You know, the woo and all that. End quote.
Get off my lawn. That's all that says to me.
I mean, he ain't. It might be get off my lawn, but he ain't lied.
Not only has he not lied, he is not a fan of Rick.
I mean, and for his own personal reasons, I can't really argue with his reasons at all.
This is a fact.
Him or Shane Douglas.
Let me run down this list of draft picks from SmackDown and Raw. I'm going with SmackDown first.
Make sure y'all go back and listen and watch that episode of Raw before the draft, before laxed obligations, and see Alexa Bliss cook Charlotte, and you'll see exactly what Zeb Coulter is talking about. Now, Zeb Coulter, it's on you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Now, I've said this before. Don't know how this happened. Not a fan of this woman, but she made it to main TV. Aaliyah, Angel Garza, Ashante, the Adonis, B-Fab, Cesaro, Charlotte Flair, Drew Gulak, Drew McIntyre, Eric of Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar. Okay, they're both there. Happy Corbin, along with Madcap Moss, Riddick Moss. I
hate that name.
Humberto Carrillo, Isaiah Swerve Scott. So yes, you have heard that. And Top Dollar. So yes, you have heard that. What's that? 3MB 2020? No, what's that name? Shit the bricks. Hit Row. Hit Row has made it to SmackDown. Jeff Hardy. Go ahead.
Allow me to totally be the one to predict this. Hit Row is going to be a hit on SmackDown. Not because it's something that we necessarily like more than anything else, but because when you're gonna present air quotes hip hop to people, that's about as dangerous as they want you to get with it.
Now, on SmackDown, it's the perfect home for them, considering what you took off of Raw last year and moved to SmackDown, who is not on SmackDown this year. I'll get to that in a second. Jeff Hardy, Jimmy and Jey Uso, Jinder Mahal, King Nakamura, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods, aka The New Day. Yes, they're on SmackDown again. Mace, who gives a shit? Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, Naomi, Natalia, Rick Boogs, Ricochet, Ridge Holland. We said Ricochet was going over there too, didn't we? We damn sure said it. We also said Drew McIntyre was going over there. Ridge Holland, of course, your tribal chief and head of the table. Have you acknowledged him today? Roman Reigns.
I have.
Sami Zayn, I have as well. Shanky, Shayna Baszler, Sheamus, Shotzi Blackheart, now just known as Shotzi, Toni Storm, and Xia Li. Now, who am I talking about when I said you basically have this reincarnation of this group with Hit Row now on SmackDown, who are going back to Monday Night Raw? That would be the Street Profits. Why? Backstage in the ring, basically hosting the show and holding court with a hip hop flair, or like Petty Messiah used to call him Coon Time. I understand.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Nah.
I understand why he said it. I don't agree with it, but I understand why he said it. But now they're back on Monday Night Raw. So now Raw has the more palatable version, while Hit Row is going to walk that tightrope of vulgarity and misfitness on a network television.
Now I think Hit Row's going to do the exact same thing they've been doing, and it probably won't get much edgier than what it is now, because it's like super. It's not even any version of Twitter. It's like that's how you do rap on TikTok.
There you go. So now on Monday Night Raw, you have AJ Styles and Omos, Akira Tozawa, Alexa Bliss. Please just release her. Let her go be great somewhere else. You're done.
Nope, 5 Feet of Fury coming soon.
Bow, whole lot of choppers on your head. Angelo Dawkins. Oh, we gotta say that. It's part of Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins and Montez.
Let me ask you this. So did they ship out the Street Profits because they were over quota?
It seems that way. Too much. Too much rap on one side. Too much black on the same side. I mean, yeah, it seems that way because Bianca Belair is back on Raw. Apollo Crews back on Raw. Austin Theory drafted up. Becky Lynch to Raw. Big E still on Raw. We saw that coming with him winning the championship. Bobby Lashley still on Raw. I mean, they're still on Raw. Carmella, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. The Hurt Business is back together. Thank God for that. We had talked. Oh wow, I don't know what the hell happened there. We talked about.
No, it's a buzzer because they didn't even draft them all together as the Hurt Business. They just happened to draft Lashley and then didn't draft Cedric or Shelton. And at the end of the draft, they were just able to go wherever they wanted.
Well, they landed at the right spot. Chad Gable, Commander Aziz, Damian Priest,
Bless you.
Dana. Chief.
Aziz.
Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
It's Dolph.
not so young Dolph.
I just want a picture of Dolph Ziggler standing next to young Dolph, standing next to Dolph Lundgren.
Oh man, three Dolph
standing next to Dan Marino.
3 Dolph Knight.
Oh my God.
Dominic and Rey Mysterio, Doudrop, Drake Maverick, Edge, Finn Balor. Drake Maverick is about to be the new Hornswoggle. Edge, Finn Balor. Jackson Riker, John Morrison, Karrion Kross, Keith Bearcat Lee, dear God, Kevin Owens, Liv Morgan, which I really hope Kevin Owens is out come January. Liv Morgan, Mia Yim, MVP, Nia Jax, Nikki TR, ASH, Otis,
the Hurricane.
The Hurricane, R-Truth, Randy Orton, Reggie, Matt Riddle, because I won't refuse to call him.
We don't want none of that over here. Bring us the good stuff.
Rhea Ripley, Seth Rollins, T-Bar, Tamina Snuka, Tegan Knox, The Miz, Veer, and Zelina Vega. Now, we also have
how much you want to bet they make Drake Maverick dress up like Hornswoggle on the Halloween episode of Raw? Watch what I say.
Let's hope not. We also have
watch. Now that I done said it, you know they're gonna do it.
We also have Olympic gold medalist and college student.
You see how we be talking shit early and bringing shit together?
I think this answers our question to the T.
All of it
to the T. Welcome to WWE, Gable Steveson,
Mr. T. Who remembers the Mr. T cartoon?
Pity the fool.
Say, bro, a dog wonder made me laugh so damn hard about that cartoon one day.
Space Loaf.
I was like, say. Oh my God.
Man. Bruh. Him and that damn dog, man.
2 of them. You got to put respect on their names, fam. You can't be disrespecting the set. So Dutch and Barrington. Shout out to both of them.
No, not dogs. The dog. I'm talking about Mr. T's dog in the cartoon.
Oh.
We're not talking about Dutch Drago and Barrington Levy. We ain't talk about them too.
Oh. Diddly 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 whoa.
Sing. Shit. God damn it.
I need that instrumental one time. Just so I can.
I know a guy. I know a guy. Anyway, so how do we feel about the draft? First of all, it don't start until after Crown Fool.
I pity the Crown Fool.
Man, this is the bullshit because no one's gonna remember. No one's gonna remember that this shit happens after Crown Fool.
Okay, you had picks. Main round draft picks, you had 6 rounds total. They alternated picks. 6 times? It's like 24, 25 people actually draft picked.
The picks actually showed up. Some of them actually showed up on the brands that they were drafted for, the nights that they were drafted, adding more to the confusion. Because if they don't take effect until then, why are you showing up on your new TV show? Oh, and speaking of new TV show, we're going to be saying rest in peace to Tommaso Ciampa's championship run as he goes up against Braun
Breaker 19
Braun Breaksteiner here in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, buddy.
It's going to be a whole new definition of Halloween Havoc because the belt's going to match the tights. I can't believe that shit.
If they get that dude, if they give Braun Breaker 19
Break Steiner
a Nickelodeon title, I will never watch it. I will never watch again.
Oh man,
it's pretty easy to skip now. I tried to watch this week's episode and I bailed.
I didn't. I couldn't. I only want to watch his segments because I'm interested in him because I know he's a superstar.
That's what I'm gonna have to start doing. I'm gonna have to just start fast forwarding to him because we were halfway through that fatal 4-way tag match and I was like, man, fuck this.
He cut a promo last week that was pre-recorded, a vignette, if you will, where he said
beignets,
not to be confused. Oh, the beignet, but a vignette where he said, "You want a friend? I don't give a shit. Get a dog." And it just went. It just got like buried inside of a terrible show.
Bro, has shit just become the buzzword for wrestling TV? Because like AEW's been doing it for a while, and it got to be like overkill. Like you look,
Jim Ross.
If anyone, yeah, Ross will even kind of twist it up and be, Cowboy Shiznit. Shout out to Adam Page, but
that's because Jim Ross is a fucking creative.
Well, I be trying to tell people to stop trying to push Jim Ross out of the door. He's the best you have.
Nah, keep him around, but use him like you use a DJ. You sprinkle him every so often. And when
you're not finna leave me on Mondays and Fridays listening to the rest of them because they're not gonna put the right combo together.
You're absolutely right.
Anything to keep Excalibur from talking more.
Shut him the fuck up. In fact,
and turn Chris Jericho's mic down. That way, when he starts yelling, it just flattens out.
Listen, there's so many people who are good on the mic in AEW that you could literally have a 2-man booth by pulling 2 names every week: Mark Henry, Paul White, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone. We'll use. I'll just say Excalibur simply because he's on the roster. He's on the payroll to do that, and they're grooming him to be the next guy because he's actually of a ripe age per se. But even Chaz and Chris Jericho and CM Punk, that's 8 people right there. Go ahead.
So check this out. Here's what I just came up with because AEW loves to do the whole casino thing. Every television episode, you have like lotto numbers. Like the ping pong balls in the air blower.
Right.
Blow 2 names out. That's your commentary
team. And then the rest are backstage. The rest are backstage on headsets.
There you go.
I like it.
And what you do, if you're TNT, you say you can download the app and watch the alternate commentary on demand.
Ooh.
Somebody owe me a motherfucking check. Somebody owe me a check, bro. That's square business.
That's what WWE was trying to do with that second screen experience back in the day. Remember how that shit worked out?
That bullshit. Did you? Or WWF radio? Way back in the. That's like early 90s.
How about Tout? Y'all remember Tout?
What became Snapchat?
Oh, you bitches. Oh man.
I'm just saying, like, that's how you don't have to gobble up and run to every new social media trend because typically they either get swallowed up by a bigger fish or they end up making an improvement and becomes a completely different app.
Meanwhile, back at the farm.
Back at the ranch.
The international shut down of Facebook following a 60 Minutes piece.
International
had the entire world on edge, and those who were creative did not know and did not give a shit.
Missed it. Had I not needed to use those platforms for some work stuff, I would have never known. It would have passed me.
We got some criminal news bits here if you're ready for this.
Oh, criminals, you say?
Yes. Wildcat Chris Harris was arrested on Tuesday, October the 5th in Kenton County, Kentucky, charged with operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol, as well as failure to produce an insurance card. Wait, what state are we in? It's 2021. What state are we in when you have a vehicle that you can scan the license plate and not find out who they have for insurance? Kentucky, y'all, that's you?
Probably. Or it's just one of those things like if you don't know to say it, they won't remind you. Because that, I mean, there's certain places, certain things happen.
And there's definitely that. And then also, one Alberto El Patron is suing Combate Americas over alleged breach of contract. That's just Googleable. I just figured I'd throw that out there. But considering what you're going through, oh my God! This is a quote from the lawsuit itself. Compensatory damages in the amount of $250,000 for the defendant's breach of contract,
$250,000,
or Marriott, or unjust enrichment. Interest of at least $28,250 due and owing from and after December 31st of 2019, calculated as follows through April 15, 2021, and as determined by the court to the days following April 15, 2021, up to the date of judgment, is rendered at 7% interest of $26,250. You want a bag?
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you want to pay attention in math class.
Speaking of math class,
you see that alley-oop? Boy.
Let me find this shit. Because we can go out on this one.
Jason Kidd ain't got shit on me. You see that oop?
On Twitter, there was a quote from one Dave Meltzer. If you listen to the show, you don't know who Dave Meltzer is, slap yourself. But it's not often that we quote Dave Meltzer, but I find this funny
at all.
I find this funny that we actually are quoting this for the sake of math class. So if you're ready, put on your math hat.
Put your thinking caps on.
Not that this is a perfect ratings predictor, but based on the top 10 markets, AEW was up 3% in the homes from the prior week, but down 20% in the 18 to 49 demographic.
But the all important for 18 to 49 demo.
But key was how much Chicago factored in. Factoring that out, up 18% and 6%. Chicago was cut in more than half in 18 to 49. What did I just say?
Tell him.
I don't know what the fuck I just said. This would go under Steiner math.
All right, okay. I'm gonna lock in. Run through that statement again, and I'm gonna try to dissect it.
Good luck with this one. Hold, please.
All right.
Not that this is a perfect ratings predictor, but based on top 10 markets, AEW was up 3% of homes from the prior week. This date was October the 4th. So he's basically saying you can't use this information to scale, but in the places where TV matters, like all the major areas, major cities, what's that? The top 5, top 10 major markets, they're up in viewership. AEW is up 3% in the homes from the prior week, but down 20% in the 18 to 49 demo.
Which means the people that are supposedly buying shit, because the 18 to 49 demo, the important thing about them is that 18 to 49 year old males spend the most money. Because at 18, you have no clue of the value of $1 in real life. So you just really fuck off money and then worry about it later. Once you get past up to 49, then you're a father, you're buying for other people in the house, you're contributing, heavily on the financial end. So if we get you to like something, whether it's for you or your family, you'll buy it.
All right.
18, you'll throw money at anything, strippers included.
But key was how much Chicago factored in. Factoring that out, up 18% and 6%.
So they tried to nullify Chicago, tried to void Chicago because, you know, it's CM Punk.
And it says Chicago was cutting more than half of the 18 to 49.
So, yeah, 18 to 49, shit, they ain't fucking around.
It's going to be a three-way for the TNA heavyweight title at Sacrifice between you, Kurt Angle, and Samoa Joe. Now, before you get there, you have an important step tonight as you and X Division champion Petey Williams take on the unlikely duo of Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe, and you can see that statement is not true. See, normally if you go one-on-one with another wrestler, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal. So you got a 25% at best at beating me. And then you add Kurt Angle to the mix, your chances of winning drastically go down. See, the three-way at Sacrifice, you got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and two-thirds chance of winning because Kurt Angle knows he can't beat me, and he's not even going to try. So, Samoa Joe, you take your 33 and a third chance minus my 25% chance, and you got an 8 and a third chance of winning at Sacrifice. But then you take my 75% chance of winning if we used to go one-on-one and then add 66 and two-thirds percent. I got 141 and two-thirds chance of winning at Sacrifice. See, Joe, the numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at Sacrifice. See, but I'm going to break it down for all you ladies. Would you rather be with me, or would you rather be with Joe?
Well, I think Joe's kind of nice. I mean, you know.
See, you're one of those girls that like romance. I'm going to talk to all my freaks out there. Would you rather come home to me, a genetic freak, to be satisfied every night, or go home to that fat-ass Samoa Joe? See, tonight, we're going to win, and I'm going to be the world champion at Sacrifice. Come on, P. Let's go.
Scotty, just like you always say, Big Papa Pump has got your hookup. Well, Maple Leaf Muscle is who you need to look up. Holler if you hear that.
Shouts out to TNA Impact Wrestling app. That's from Sacrifice 2008. The birth of Steiner math right there for your funky ass.
Come on.
If your head doesn't hurt behind that, nothing makes your head hurt. You are immune to all things head hurt, migraine wise. Suave, do we have anything else for the good people out here, for the constituents?
Trying to think. There's like a Twitter uproar going on behind like an Easter egg tweet and retweet.
Oh,
so Finn Balor's drafted to Raw as we spoke about, and God, they blew the draft so bad. It's like it's 3 weeks till the changes take place. You could have just had matches and things in the episodes that earned picks and pick them over the 3 weeks.
And Asthmatic couldn't have blew a draft worse than this. Go ahead.
Made me think about dude in the wheelchair from Malcolm in the Middle.
That's not funny.
It's not funny, but it's hilarious.
It is.
Shout out to Fox. So Balor says something to the effect of speaking to AJ because he's on Raw and they're both on Raw now. And then Alfredo Johansson responded by saying, "There are a lot of people on this brand I don't like. You are not one of them."
Okay.
And the internet got into a whole tizzy like, you know the shit they do. Confirmed. Bullet Club reunion. Like, if we're trying to assemble the Voltron of Bullet Club on American soil, Kanos is much further along than anybody else.
Yeah, you got two players over on Monday nights. You got key players calling themselves the Elite and the Super Click on Wednesdays and Fridays who could run roughshod over that too sweet.
Damn, Kanos got 50% of an Undisputed Era reunion.
3 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You could have those men on 3 nights a week in succession. You get the Get out of my fucking face, man.
It's like, but that's what the internet does, and I'm like, yeah. At this point, both of them could probably use the freshness of being together as a group.
But
you ain't getting Bullet Club. You ain't getting anything Bullet Club-esque. You'll get a new name with on some goofy shit, something they can license. Here's the other shit, okay? Fuck what I was just talking about with AJ and Balor. Why is it we've been doing this show for now 136 episodes?
Yep.
And we've both been watching wrestling at least 3 decades each. Why is it that I just now, this week, when I was thinking about some other shit, now this week,
brain break,
I come to the resolution and to the revolution and resolution that WWE runs their business like a record company.
Have you ever noticed how record companies or beef within record companies is always combated with the statement, "This is wrestling"? Mm-hmm. It's not an accident.
So, and I'm not talking about the independent labels. I'm not even talking about a label like a Cash Money or No Limit or Disturbing the Peace or anything else.
We're talking about Universal.
Not even Def Jam.
I'm talking Sony,
Atlantic. I'm talking about those how they handle business.
The majors, not the major independents. No, the majors, the houses.
We started this shit. Here we gonna finish this shit. Those people. Man. They want control. They want control of your streams because they're gonna get paid the most off of it. So compare that to WWE's stance on Twitch.
Man, I don't even. That's a conversation I wanted to have, but I really don't want to get into it. We already know Paige is the leader on that one, but if you take her numbers and divide it by a third, which is approximately what they said that WWE was going to give to their talent, she's still getting robbed. Continue.
Right. Let's see. Those two, they need to own the IP on everything. WWE wants to own the name, trademark the look, likeness, whatever, anything into perpetuity until they're done with you.
They're being sued right now by tattoo artists for having lifelike images on a video game from free-handed tattooers who perform their art on the talents of WWE. That should tell you something. That's a problem.
Yeah. So them in their never-ending quest to acquire IP, and like with a record label, unless you spend that $1,500 to copyright and own the name that you're performing with,
that name belongs to the label.
And now when you leave, you got to change it, unless you've satisfied the terms and whatnots of the contract you've signed.
Proof of concept, Menudo.
Or when Snoop Doggy Dogg left Death Row, he became Snoop Dogg
forever.
That wasn't a happy accident. I think Diddy's been doing that shit to avoid label situations forever, because he's been Puff Daddy, P Diddy, Diddy Bop, Diddy and Friends. He tried Brother Love for a hot second and had to go back.
He was a symbol for a couple of days.
Then he went back to Puff and Pass, Puff the Magic Dragon, Puff Cheetos.
I think he may have tried Puff Diddy because, you know,
Take That Tommy. All sorts of names.
Never liked the shiny suit man. He never liked the shiny suit. I don't understand.
Shiny suit man.
Sean John Combs, the shiny suit man.
Yeah, all of that stuff. All of it.
Yeah.
They run this shit like a record label. They try to. Both of them have staffs of hired writers. If you guys don't know, on both sides of the spectrum, there's a staff of hired writers to handle business. Do the creating. Neither knows what to do with rap. or for that matter, any rapper hip hop influence.
Oh,
See,
man.
that's another reason that Hit Row is perfect, because they have just enough flavor to not be 100% corny, but it's not to where it'll affect the palate of the people that are watching.
They'll need to adjust some things to make themselves more palatable, unless that's the version that Vince wants. Because, like you said, they're signed to the label.
I think if you watch NXT from this week, the interview they did on that show, that's exactly what you're gonna get on Fox.
Shouts out to my nephew Art Lewis up in Milwaukee. Just signed on to be one of the flagship members of the talent pool that is Black Ink Milwaukee. Huge. Turn the pluck up. You know what I'm saying? If I decide to go ahead and finally do the ink thing, I'm gonna go see him. Nobody else, because that's what family does. We support our own. And
that's what friends are for.
And Suave, there's nothing else for us to do at this point but for you to take us to the house.
Pencil pushers. Heads up, pencils down.